Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And today, it's Beyonce versus Godzilla, opening up at the theaters this weekend. Are you going to go out and see it? Or maybe you'll go see that John Woo movie, Silent Night, about a guy who gets his throat kind of cut out and he wants revenge. I don't know. But we start out today's show by talking about that Furiosa trailer that dropped last night. And my reaction for it's up on the channel right now. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Now, this is going to be a prequel to Fury Road about the younger Furiosa. I forgot what's her name. It's like Temporso Furiosa. What is it called? Templar Furiosa or something? But anyway, it's going to be played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Chris Hemsworth plays Dr. Dementus, one of the bad guys. Is it Tom Burke that's playing the young... Mortan Joe? I think it might be. I don't know. I think it is. But we looked at the trailer. There's Hemsworth with his abs. He's part of like a motorcycle gang, right? And then he ends up recruiting Anya Taylor-Joy, Furiosa. And the trailer looked great, man. The trailer looked absolutely phenomenal. Let's pull that up. Looks like it's straight out of the world of, yes, Mad Max Fury Road. Not so much like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome or Road Warrior, but that's fine. Now, I really like this trailer a lot, but some of the first criticisms were that it looked a little too CGI. I don't know about that. Yeah, Dr. Dementus here. You get to see... Hemsworth, and he talks differently, right? He pronounces things in a little bit of a different enunciation. Like it's really interesting. Lady and gentlemen. Lady and gentlemen's. I guess is there only one lady there, and mostly men. But yeah, so. She joins his little group there. And I think he's supposed to be like some kind of plastic surgeon or something like that, from what I understand. But then, yeah, we see the guys that were with Immortan Joe here, and you see him, Immortan Joe, there on the side of the one truck. So basically what happens, from what I understand, is that Immortan Joe, that we know from Fury Road, fights with the motorcycle gang guy, and that's how Furiosa, because Furiosa's with Dementus there, that's how she gets to know about Immortan Joe. So, what was Furiosa's first name? Imperator. Yeah, sorry. Imperator Furiosa. Yeah, they've got weird names, but that's okay. The trailer, it looks slick, man. Yeah, maybe if you could say that it looks like a little too much CGI, but you know what? I trust George Miller to bring that around to make it look like, yeah, there's a CGI background. There's not really that many bullets there, but you know that you're here for the action, right? You're here for the stunt work that, you know, despite who cares if it's using CG? Like the Fury Road used CG a lot. But when she screams, "I am Furiosa," like that looked awesome. So is that her at a younger age? It was supposed to be taking... I do remember now that George Miller said at certain points that this was supposed to be at different points in her life, right? So maybe we will see her there younger, which is fine. Yeah, there. I am Furiosa. Is that what she says? Let's just listen to that quick second. Ah, look. I am Furiosa. Yeah, and she looks great. Anya's going to knock this out of the ballpark, guys. I've seen this set. I've seen behind-the-scenes footage of this set. It's like a gateway, I think, that leads to the place where the water is that Immortan Joe has. I think that's where it is. So I'll just see. So does she have her? Yeah, she'll have the bionic arm at some point. Like she'll lose it at some point here. Okay, this is her underneath. Does she have the bionic arm there? Maybe it'll just end with her getting her arm chopped off. Is that bionic there? It doesn't. No, it's not. Right? You can see her fingers there. So maybe she loses it underneath a vehicle or something. It gets pulled off. But I like how like Hemsworth is like, can you make it epic? And then it's just like her standing there with the color palette. I mean, my God, that looks phenomenal. Yeah, that looks great. She's gonna nail this. So when does this come out, Furiosa? Well, um, May 24th, 2024. So May 24, guys, long weekend in May. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. Really awesome. Let's see what some of the people are saying about it in the comments section. Okay, there's much of CGI, yeah. Yeah, let's scroll down to some lesser known comments here. Love Fury Road, will 100% love this. I would love an actual Mad Max movie. Yeah, people want Mad Max. But I trust George Miller to bring this home. Mad Max movie without Mad Max is like a Superman movie without Superman. So you got some people out there that are kind of like, they want to poo-poo all over it. But I think, as I said, you're there for the action, for George Miller's talent of drawing this stuff out. And yeah, we're in the world of the Mad Max. We know that he's out there somewhere. And I do hope that Tom Hardy does step back into that role at some point, because he was really good at that. What's going on here? Is that a sniper going on here, or is that just like a statue? I don't know. Really interesting. I just like the trucks on the desert kind of chasing each other kind of thing. And I like that kind of stuff. That's why I'm watching this. But yeah, Hemsworth, he's got some kind of nose piece on there. I think it looks phenomenal. I think it looks great. Okay. So, guys, Chris Shelburne in live chat says, hey, James, how's it going? So, this is going to be a little bit of a raw show. By meaning, there's no sidebar. I'm sorry that movie news got kind of pushed around today. I've just been really busy. I tried to get my straight out of the theater reaction for Godzilla up on the channel, so that's up now. And we are going to do a formal review, but I just want to sit back and relax a little bit, try to get a little bit settled. So let's just scan some headlines here, see if I missed anything. Now let's go over to the movie web and just peruse some headlines here. See if anything jumps off at the page at me here while I get settled for my Godzilla Minus One review. 15th best non-religious Christmas movies. They got, oh yeah, I guess Edward Scissorhands was a little bit of a Christmas movie. It took place around the Christmas time, right? Slow Horses. Adam Sandler's latest Netflix comedy is a must-watch, is it? Doctor Who Ncuti Gatwa takes the helm with new images and narrative for the 2023 seasonal special. There's some blowback going on with Doctor Who right now, or something like that. Like one of the older doctors stepped back in for it, like a cameo or something, and people were going, "Ooh, no, you're just trying to appease to the fans or something." I don't know. I don't follow Doctor Who, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it then. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't, James. I don't know. 10 best episodes I don't watch. Fargo. Napoleon is better than its Rotten Tomatoes score. Well, I don't know about that. So somebody's brown nosing here with their review, but they're entitled to have their review, James. Yeah, I know. But I didn't think Napoleon was all that. It was competent. No, it wasn't even that. Like it's like, guys, I just got out of Godzilla Minus One, and I'm all fired up. I wanted to be like that coming out of like Napoleon. I wanted to be like that coming out of like Killers of the Flower Moon, and you're just not. But you're going to be fired up coming out of Godzilla Minus One. You will, for sure. Let's just take a look at Napoleon here. What's Napoleon sitting at? You can't make a boast like that, and then 58% by critics. Yeah, 58 by the audience. So all around, sorry Ridley Scott, but you're your Napoleon is that's not being very well received, and some people want to go to bat for you. I don't know, maybe because they want some writing credentials so they can go to premieres or something. Whatever. So a lot of Christmas headlines here. 10 characters and groups who could play the villain in a retcon of the sequel trilogy. Don't retcon it. Just if they're going to do a reboot, just redo the whole thing and have all 9 scripts written, for God's sakes. That's what I say. All right. I'm not seeing a whole lot here on Movie Web, but we'll come back to browsing some headlines here on Joe Blow once we are done our Godzilla Minus One review. Take out the YouTube chat. Can I put that up there? Maybe I can. All right. So it's been a really busy, hectic day. It has. But it's been a good day because I like Godzilla. All right, next. Let's make sure that I got all my materials handled here properly. And I do, it looks like. All right. Godzilla Minus One is in theaters this weekend, guys. And I gotta tell you, I went out and I saw it, and it's awesome, man. It's a really good Godzilla movie. It's up there with probably one of the best. And it's Japanese, guys, so know that going in. You're going to have to read subtitles to watch it, but it's really well done. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes, and you don't feel it. Post-war Japan is at its lowest point when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster, baptized in the horrific power of the atomic bomb. Yes, this takes place just after Hiroshima, right? And this is just kind of like Godzilla, his second attack on him, or maybe even the first, I don't know. But it's well done, man. It's got some really surprisingly good acting that I said. Of course, when Godzilla shows up, it's awesome. But it's just one of those movies where you're like, yeah, Godzilla's in it, but I'm kind of more invested with the human characters. And it's just, for me, yeah, when he starts to wreck shop and one of the human characters is inside one of those things, you're like, oh God, please no, please no, please no. That's what you feel, because you feel the menace from Godzilla in this. You feel like, yeah, he's a big monster. And they do it justice. They do it justice quite a bit. Like the buildings, you feel like he's right there, guys. I'm just really impressed with what they were able to achieve with this. There's a couple of sequences. There's a boat chase sequence in this. There's, of course, when he comes into town there, like the cinematography for what the budget of what this was, what they were able to pull off was, you're just like, wow, that's Godzilla. That's menacing. You run for the hills, man. That, like, you feel that kind of fear, and that's good. That's what Godzilla should be, right? I know that the North American version of him is kind of like made him like a savior of like the defender of the planet kind of angle, but not this. This is just Godzilla being big monster, man, and it pays off on the big screen for sure. As I said, you'll be rooting for the main character. The synopsis doesn't really do a good job of explaining what happened to him. So basically, it's kind of like Finn, the fallen stormtrooper, except he was a kamikaze pilot, the main character. And he kind of chickened out of doing his duty. And that kind of eats away at him psychologically, that he didn't want to do it. And he kind of froze. And that just eats away at him throughout the entire movie until he finally gets his big moment at the end where, yeah, you're like, get him, dude. You're just like, yeah. And it tugs at the heart a couple times. Mostly because, as I said, the human characters are extremely well done. This woman who plays the lead female there, she I want to look her up now because she did a really fantastic job in this. This Noriko Minam, Minami Amambe. Let's just take a look at her resume because she did a. She's just there in the beginning, but then you just like she's doing a fantastic job because he's dealing with PTSD, right? PTSD from not going into action when he was supposed to, and then of course Godzilla comes and wrecks shop in the opening sequences, right? So he's suffering from that, and she helps him through all of that stuff. And there's like a small child that's all involved in between the two of them, and so when you see the look on her face, it's kind of like there when he's coming towards the train, you're like, please no, please no, please no, please no. And it's like the movie did a good job of wrapping you up in the stakes. So I want to see more from her. Good actress. The main actor, Ryunosuke Kamiki. Sorry if I'm butchering these names. He did a good job as well. Played like the pilot there that didn't do his duty. But his story comes around there towards the end, and that's what you're invested in, man. And that's all I can ever say. So, going to the score sheet here. Acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of possible 1 point each. So, acting, I'll give 1.5 for acting. Now, there's no scene in here that makes me go, well, that's awards worthy. But it's got those couple of moments in it where you're just like, oh my God, I'm feeling it here. I'm tearing up here, for God's sakes. I'm watching a Godzilla movie. Anyway, directing. Now, we know that this had a smaller budget. The guy who directed this came from a visual effects background, and that pays off in this movie, man. I think the budget was like really small, so they were able to stretch it for every dollar. And I was like watching some of the sequences on the boats, on the Navy ships and stuff, and it's kind of like, you got all these costumes together. I believe that we're back in time seeing this thing all play out. So the execution of the film, the technical aspects was great. And the story itself, I think 1.5 also was just like, wow. Because as I said, there's that human story going on in the background. Now, I think some people may pick it apart later on where it's kind of like, well, maybe we're taking too much of a digression to talk about the human characters. But then you're like, no, I like these characters. I want to see like how they're going to get out of this situation and how they all work as a team towards the end. It's just like, whoa, yeah. Okay, so cinematography and score are out of a possible 1 point each. I'm going to give cinematography and score the full points. And I'll tell you why. For the cinematography, as I said, that limited budget that they had, they stretched it for every dollar that they had. And then, of course, the soundtrack, they used the familiar dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You know, that kind of, they use it perfectly too. And it's just like, wow, that's really awesome, man. So where am I sitting at? A 6.5 before the watchability factor. I think we should go and take a look at what other people are saying. What's the vibe out there for Godzilla Minus One that's opening up this weekend, man? 96 by the critics, 97 by the audience. That's some really high ratings. Am I going to be able to get there? Maybe, man, because we're sitting at 6.5 right now, and I haven't talked about watchability factor. Let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews from Empire Magazine. A refreshingly humanist and nostalgic reboot of the iconic monster franchise. Takashi Yamazaki's Godzilla Minus One takes the atomic lizard back to his post-war roots. Yes. Oh, God. It's the kind of movie where I want to go back and I want to watch it again, man. I do. And I want to watch it with a big crowd. So, like, when he comes out of the water sometimes, I want to see, like, theatrical reaction to, like, people gasping. And then when certain things happen and where you're like, no, you're like, yeah, I want to see that too. So somebody who didn't like it, Movie Nation, I like what Yamazaki was trying to do, but his timidity in themes he might introduce in the film's native Japanese audience shows, and it muzzles his monster movie? What? Sounds like he wanted it to be something else, and it didn't live up to his expectations. Now, there is a danger here, I would admit, of perhaps overselling this. So if you got your, like I'm setting you guys up to have this like 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 experience. And if you're expecting it to like blow your mind, maybe temper that a little bit. That's what I would say. Adam Does Movies didn't like it. The superior visuals and sound are at odds with the terribly paced story and downright boring characters. It all feels so underwhelming. So I don't know. The characters are good. Terrible paced story. So as I said, going into this, there are going to be people just like that will be kind of like, I don't understand this pacing. You just showed Godzilla do all these great things, and now we're taking time out to talk about these other like these characters dealing with the fallout of that. I don't know if I like that. No, I understand there's going to be a bunch of people like that, because there's going to be the people out there that want to just go see Godzilla. I want to see Godzilla wreck the city. I want to see Godzilla do this and that, but you don't want to watch a 2-hour movie of just that. You think that you do, but it would be really not that entertaining. Trust me, the backstory in here with the characters does work. It truly does. So the few people out there that are kind of like, meh, I don't know if I like that, I would just say maybe they're not as seasoned as a movie critic as I am. But if you're a movie fan, you'll want to watch this. If you're a Godzilla fan, you'll want to watch this. If you're a special effects guy, you'll want to watch to see what they were able to achieve with this. Some of the techniques. North American filmmakers have to take a page out of what they were able to achieve with this, because movies shouldn't, like, the day of movies costing $250 million plus to make should be gone. And this movie proves that here's a good case that you can still make these big, huge movies and have it at a reasonable budget. I think that budget that Godzilla Minus One has is going to serve it well, because the word of mouth is going to get out about this, and it's going to explode, man. Yes, we can have 2 Godzillas going on at once. We can have the Toho one, the Japanese one going on, and yes, we can also have the North American one where Godzilla fights with King Kong. We can have that one. We as an audience can understand the difference. This is just, what a pleasant way to start off December is what I would say for Godzilla Minus One. Just awesome. Now, the critics ended with 97 and the audience were 98. I don't know if I can quite go that high, because I do acknowledge that the film does have some faults. So let's go back to the score sheet and try to round things out. The watchability factor, as I said, if you're a Godzilla fan, you'll want to check it out. If you're a movie fan, you want to check that out at least once. This is the kind of movie where I would have it on Blu-ray. 8.5 out of 10 for Godzilla Minus One. Could I give acting even better? Could I give directing? As I said, that's some story pacing issues in there, but I think I might appreciate that even more on a second viewing, the character development. Because there's an honor about it where they're building up their forces to fight Godzilla, and like the military's been depleted, and it's like humans have to come together to try to figure out how to deal with it, and there's like an honor about it. Well, it's better that I go and fight him for the betterment of my town, so that he doesn't come and destroy my town, kind of thing, or my family, kind of thing. And people step up like that, and it has that kind of almost like Independence Day type quality speech towards it, towards the end of it, where it's kind of like one of the characters just like gets you all rallied up, man, ready to go out and face Godzilla. And it's just like, yeah, that's awesome. So, it's hard to say. Is it? I think 8.5 is about where I'm going to sit. And I feel very comfortable with that. 8.5 for Godzilla Minus One is the way I feel. I would see this in IMAX. I should have seen this in IMAX, man. 8.5 for Godzilla Minus One. It's just like, how did this movie? It's a Godzilla movie, man. How can it be this good? It's just, They know what they're doing over there, man, and it pays off. It pays off. All right. So, are you guys going to go and see this weekend? You've got this Beyonce, and you've got Silent Night, John Woo's new movie coming out this weekend. So I think Beyonce is probably going to win, but this will have some staying power here for December because we don't really have a whole lot of really other big things. We got Wonka, which is a kids movie. We got Aquaman 2 coming out this month. But this one may have some staying power because the word of mouth is going to spread about this, and it's going to go like a wildfire of like, hey, if it's near you, yeah, you got to read subtitles, but it's just this is what Godzilla is, man. Oh man, you get fired up. I've left the theater, and I've been on this kind of like high for the last 2 hours, just like that is a good movie. That's a good movie. Thank you. My God, I want to see more. I do. I want to see more. Oh, yeah, and it's just when his tail all lights up and everything. Oh, they do it right. They do it well. All right, guys. That's my review for Godzilla. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below if you like this kind of stuff. And hey, you want to follow me on all my other social media handles. Yeah, you can find stories and extended versions of things on my TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, and Facebook. Yeah, I need to focus on Facebook a little bit more. But what else can you find here on the channel? Well, on top of my movie review for Godzilla Minus One, we watched the full movie The Killer from a Netflix movie. So come watch us watch that movie, and then movie reviews for other movies in the theater right now. Saltburn, Napoleon, The Hunger Games, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. We're in the midst of watching the new Survivor season. We're up to episode 10 already, and we're up to episode 9 of Hell's Kitchen that just went this morning, so we watched that. Great episodes, great episodes. And then, of course, you know, we do movie news 2 or 3 times here throughout the week where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. So if you like this kind of stuff, hey, come join us here on Mirror Domains. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. All right. So that'll be cut out and put up on the channel later on. Let's take some live comments here. Let me turn on the live chat again. High Energy Review. Have you seen the first look at Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie with the shower? Yeah, we looked at that, I think, in the Twitterverse yesterday. Cool review, Bifer says. Oh, thanks, man. It looks pretty interesting, James. It does. They just published this final trailer for Godzilla. I haven't watched it yet. Sure to become a timeless classic. Yeah, it will be. They do some interesting stuff with the lore, like if him being able to, like, okay, he gets shot with these rockets and stuff, and how does he bounce back from it? It's just really awesome, really well. Yeah, and cinematically, this is why I gave it like the full points, because like look at how that's framed, and this atomic breath goes off and creates, like, that's what's happened here. He's blown up a certain portion of the city that's going up in the background, and because of these angles, it helps you feel the weight of it, right? Like the weight of Godzilla. So if you got the chance to see it in the IMAX, when he's stepping on the ground, it's just like boom. It's like eerie. It's almost as if he's like really standing there. And then there's people up on the top of the buildings, like photographing him as he goes by, and it looks real, man. It's just like, holy crap! How was this possibly? Oh, there's the young girl that, yeah, this is gonna, she was as cute as a button too. Wow. And yeah, she's got a couple scenes in there where that little kid does a great job of, wow. So what was the budget for this? Let me see if I can look that up. 15 million, guys. 15 million. Wow, that is an impressive feat. Filmmakers from North America have to study this film and have to figure out how they can cut down costs, because the days of $200 million plus movies, like I look at this has a big CGI monster going on in it. And it's got some strong dramatic pieces in the background. Why in the heck did Killers of the Flower Moon cost $200 million plus when it had no visual effects in it? It didn't have a big monster destroying the town and cities. It just was about a bunch of people being awful to each other. Why was that $200 million? I just, it boggles my mind. It does. Napoleon, I can understand costing 200 million because you got these big action wartime pieces, but Killers of the Flower Moon, my God, I just don't get it, man. Like, I would love to see Scorsese try to make a movie like this for 15 million. Yeah, put kind of like the budget handcuffs on some of these directors, like Ridley Scott, or they're going to dump a whole bunch of money into Gladiator 2 as well. That's going to be like 200 million, and it's going to have to make like 400, 500 million to break even, and it's not that big of a property to earn it. Godzilla is going to Minus One is going to be a box office hit because of that budget, man. And it's like the visual effects had no business being that good, but because the director came from that, he's kind of like the Japanese version of what Neil Blomkamp did with District 9. It's like one of those movies that we're just like, how are you able to achieve this? Yeah, great movie. Great movie. All right. Let's talk about what's opening up this weekend, guys. What's opening up in this weekend's box office? So, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is playing. Napoleon's still playing. But Trolls band together, and then of course the other big movie release was Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, 2 hours and 49 minutes. Silent Night, John Woo's actioner. Joel Kinnaman gets I don't know if it's his family gets abducted or something. He gets his voice box punched or something, so he can't talk throughout the entire movie. He just goes out and gets revenge for that. I am going to go see it this weekend. I think I'm going to go see it either Sunday. Tomorrow I'm going to a Santa Claus parade, so it's kind of like I don't know how long that'll be. But I will go out and see it this weekend. I'll be going to see the John Woo film because I do want to see it and add it to my December resume. Zeus Grinch is also out. Sam Bahadur, a Hindi film. The Shift is also out. Now, that apparently is not doing so well box office wise. The Shift, Neil McDonough, Elizabeth Tabish, and Sean Astin. Yeah, I saw this. Renaissance is doing okay. 100%, 99 by the audience. So this is like Beyonce fans. This is critics looking at it. Beyonce. It's going to do well. I just, for me, there's no real point for me to watch it because I don't know any of Beyonce's songs. I'm just not a fan. I'm a fan of her work ethic, of her talents. A true odyssey, a maximalist explosion of sparkles and beats and visuals and insight. A maximalist. Renaissance tour, as well as Beyonce's role as the auteur behind it all the movie hits its marks. All right. So nobody said anything bad about it, right? Nobody? Nobody at all. 100% critics score, James. Of course, nobody said nothing bad about it. But audiences are like 99%. Hey, it's going to be one of those movies that if you're not a Beyonce fan, then you're not going to go see it. Of course, right? What else is out? Oh yeah, we were going to look at The Shift. The Shift is 46%. Eesh. Oof. Pfeiffer, you said you saw that movie, though, right? You went to see that last night? It's got an interesting cast. Hollywood Reporter. As the storyline endlessly and confusingly shifts from one reality to another, it's easy to tune out until we encounter one that's interesting. Alas, that never happens. Somebody who did like it. While those already familiar with Job should find the parallels intriguing and inviting. Job or Job? I don't know what the heck you're talking about. A gripping, heartfelt, proactive love story. Was that Richard Roper that liked it? No, Richard Propes. Whatever the heck that is. All right. So that's another thing that's opening up this weekend. The Shift. Uh, Saltburn is also out. Critically, I think Saltburn's just going to land with everybody, right? Next goal wins. Taika Waititi. Uh, I'll wait for streaming for that one. For sure. Um, John Woo talking about his signature action style. So he dialed it back for a little bit for Silent. No, I want to see him go full ham. And his thoughts on a face-off continuation. Yeah. So he directed Face Off with Nicolas Cage. Silent Night is a classic revenge tale as Kinnaman's Brian Godlock stops at nothing to avenge the gang-related death of a 7-year-old son. Oh, so they actually killed his son. Ooh. I would have preferred to have left that to the theater to make me go, ooh. The quest is made all more intriguing by Godlock's inability to speak, having suffered a life-altering injury during his failed attempt to go after the offending gang. Yeah, he gets hit in the voice box. So is this a long interview? Yeah, it's a full interview up on THR. I just want it to be like this, a classic run-of-the-mill revenge flick with some good top quality action. A Face Off sequel is in some stage of development. Did you ever envision that story continuing? He said no. I once thought that if I ever had a chance to make a Face Off sequel, I would like to star 2 female characters, 2 women exchange faces and do something. So I suggested it to the studio, but they didn't pay much attention to it. Yeah, go with the female route. Do something like that. John Woo, it was an honor to talk to you. Oh, yeah. So if you want some more insight on that, THR has a good thing up on the site. So what do you think is going to happen? Let's take a look at last week's box office report and then try to maybe prognosticate a little bit as to where everything could land. Hunger Games is not going to be number one. I think it's going to go Beyonce. I don't know between Silent Night or Godzilla, because can Napoleon and Wish will be chopped down to about 10 million, if not Wish will even fall off much more. Uh, yeah, so I think it'll go Beyonce's number one, Godzilla number two, because I'm hoping word of mouth will get out there, and then Silent Night number three, Napoleon number four, and then Wish number five. Actually, I think Trolls Band Together might even keep more steam there. So I think Trolls Band Together will be number five. Wish will drop out of the top five. That's what I'm thinking, because this is not being very well received. Kids like it, but anybody who is being dragged along to watch it with kids are kind of like, what the heck is this for Wish? So there you go. That's what I'm thinking. Beyonce number one, Godzilla number two, Silent Night number three, Napoleon number four, and then Trolls Band Together number five. I think that's what's going to happen for the opening weekend. All right, guys. Later on I don't know if it's going to be later on today. I really should try to get it out later on today. I will try to get my ranked movies for November out. I thought I could go out and see Thanksgiving. It's not going to end up on the list. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. It's a casualty. It's just the timing of it coming out was bunched up with a whole bunch of other stuff that I just kind of I had to juggle it, and I couldn't see everything. Hey, it happens. I'll see it eventually, though. It'll go on that. I'll see it before the end of the year, hopefully, so that when I do my big year-end rankings, I'll have included it. All right. Let's take some live comments here. Chris Schober, do you think Jim Carrey's character will in Sonic Hedgehog 3? Well, he said that he was kind of done with it, didn't he? Or do you think they might recast Eggman for some Sonic Hedgehog? I don't know. Pfeiffer says, I didn't see The Shift. I changed my mind. I saw Animal, and the most violent India film. Just too much. Probably going to get banned from streaming. Oh, what? Animal? Yeah, Animal is playing here, right? That was on the list. The Animal? Or is it just Animal? Animal. Hindi, right? 3 hours and 22 minutes. I don't know if I got time for that. He's saying it's most violent, huh? Wow, look at that. It's all sold out tonight at 5 o'clock. There's only the front row seats. So it's Animal's gonna do well, I think. What's the 9:30? Even that's sold out? My God. Well, you know what? The main theater here in town that showed a lot of the Hindi, um, Telugu films, Tamil films, closed down. So it's like people have been kind of like scrambling around to kind of like, well, where can we go to see these films? I don't want to drive all the way to Mississauga or Brampton to see them. Yeah, that was a uh, it was Landmark that closed down. Okay, so Animal's still playing out there. Um, there was a Kitchener one that closed down, and they primarily played a lot of the foreign films. Have to see how that falls out. Chris Schober says the Scream 7 I heard could be doomed now, James, and I don't know. I will go see it. Depends on the teaser trailer. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Scream 7. They really shot themselves in the foot. I'm guessing because they fired Melissa Barrera. I think they might try to recast, which would be a huge monumental error on their part. Monumental. All right, next. I don't have that much. Taylor Swift, her publicist, slams Day Moi posts claiming Swift and ex Joe Alwyn were married. I don't think they were married. They were just together for a long time. Uh, we barely learned about Joe because he wanted to keep it private. And then of course you have to, if you're going to date her, you have to sign like non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that. Um, I had to sign those because she's really sitting right here right now, guys. She's watching me do the show right now. So when her and I got together, I had to sign that agreement. It is what it is. Right, Taylor? Yeah, she's nodding. Good. All right. It's time for you to be held accountable for the pain and trauma you cause with posts like this. Tree Pain, who's worked for Swift for years, but often stays out of the spotlight, said in a rare post on X. I don't see what the point of that is. I guess somebody's just trying to poo poo all over her and Travis Kelsey and me at the same time. I don't really care what she does in her past. Hey, it's done. She's with me now, and that's the way it's going to be for the rest of our lives, right? We're going to live happily ever after. So, somebody trying to drag her through the mud, they'll get theirs. Next, Tom Holland says he only wants to play Spider Man again if it does justice to the character. I want to protect his legacy, so I won't make another one for the sake of making another one, the actor said recently. Well, guess what? Sorry, Tom Holland, but they're going to make more Spider-Man movies. and if you don't want to be a part of it, that's one they're not going to be afraid to recast. Now, we do have some issues going forward, though, some concerns, because the way that No Way Home ended, they kind of established that the MCU is no longer going to remember this version of Spider-Man. So will Spider-Man going forward be known in the MCU? We know that they'll still be there in the MCU. Just people won't know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. There's some more there that could be done with him and MJ, like him battling with the debate if he should just let her know that, oh yeah, I am Spider-Man. You and I loved each other at one point. There's some drama that could go on there. Um, I think they'll handle it fine. I think Sony will handle it. But if they went back to making other Spider-Man movies, I'd be fine with that too. I do want to see him fight a Sinister Six at some point. For God's sakes, why is that taking so long to get off the ground? Right? I don't know. We'll see. For sure, for sure, there's going to be another Spider-Man. And I think there will be one with Tom Holland. There's a bit of a stigma with the fourth one in all franchises. I feel like we hit a home run with our first franchise, and that's part of me that wants to walk away with my head held high and pass the baton to the next lucky kid who gets to bring character in life. Well, hey, if he wants to step away from it, fine. I'm fine with that too. Haunting in Venice too. Yeah, you'll have fun with Haunting in Venice. That's good. All right. I think that's pretty much all I have here, guys. I thought we would just stream through some Joe Blow headlines, see if there's anything else here. Edgar Wright on the Running Man, which Edgar Wright is developing. Yeah, we did that story a while ago. Says he'll be closer to the novel. No, I thought it was just a short story. The Running Man. In terms of things that I'd be like, The Running Man is which one is in active development. Yeah, we did that story a while ago. May, December. Snyder would make Dark Knight Rises? What? What are you talking about? Zack Snyder wants to direct a faithful version of The Dark Knight Returns. Okay, The Dark Knight Returns. Why did I see... Here it says Dark Knight Rises, not Dark Knight Returns. That's the comic book storyline. Dark Knight Returns, not Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises was the third Nolan film. I don't know. I don't think any studio will give. Maybe Netflix would give the reins for Snyder to take over and do a Batman, but the Batman that's under James Gunn's control now. I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think that'll happen. Silent Night review. Halo Season 2 premiere date. As the first season becomes available for free on YouTube. Oh, wow. Yeah, I never watched. Just the full seasons for free on YouTube. That's reeks of desperation. The Covenant, Mike Mendez 2000 horror comedy gets a limited edition 4K release. House of the Dragon Season 2 character posters pit blood against fire for the oncoming war. Yeah, now that's something I'm looking forward to. Fire to Fire. Rhaenyra. She did a great job as Rhaenyra. I like the younger version too, but I hope we get some flashbacks so they can at least bring back Millie Alcock to be in it. Blood for blood, yeah, because these two women they're gonna be out for vengeance. Season 2, I'm expecting to be very, very bloody. A lot of people are gonna meet their comeuppance. Because hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? The ominous Alexander Nevsky makes his horror debut in Joe Cornett film. That looks a little bit low budget for my tastes. But James, I thought you liked low budget horror. I kind of do, but whatever. Jason Goes to Hell, Creighton Duke to return to battle another evil, sort of. What? Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell was. I don't know what they were. Some evil slug that goes in and out of Jason's mouth. I don't know what the heck they were talking about. Oh my god! As soon as if I wrote that on the page as a script writer, yeah, an evil slug lives in Jason's body and gets passed around from mouth to mouth. And I was like, no, that's a bad idea. Scrap it. Anyway, they did it anyways. Bloody disgusting interview. He says he intends to bring back Creighton Duke for another movie. Sort of. You see, Duke is a Friday the 13th franchise character. Marcus doesn't actually own the rights to use him in any other project, so the character is going to have to have a different name, but it sounds like it's going to be fairly close to the original Duke. He was an interesting character, but it was kind of like it served its purpose for one movie. Nobody's clamoring for another movie about this dude kind of thing. Are they? Are you guys looking for a movie with just him? GTA 6 trailer arrives next week. I thought there was supposed to be a Godzilla vs. Kong trailer dropping today. Jean-Claude Van Damme action figure coming in 2024. Lawman Bass Reeves sets record for most watched series on Paramount Plus. I like the trailer for that. No Way Up trailer. Survival thriller drops airplane into shark patrolled waters. Wow. That sounds interesting. No Way Up trailer. Huh. Shark thriller. You guys know that I like sharks. Is that Calm Meanie? Is it? Why is the video quality so terrible? It is Calm Meanie. Chief O'Brien himself. Oh, so the plane is actually underwater? That's kind of weird. No Way Up. Okay, so you can see the jaws there. The shark. Huh. Okay, so it does get submerged. Interesting. Yeah, that's Calm Meanie right there. All right. Huh. He gets eaten, doesn't he? No way. Oh, I like that poster, though. That's a good poster. Kind of ominous. All right, guys. I think that's all I've got for today because I got to get going here and start working in the kitchen. If there is another trailer that drops today, I will do it as quickly as possible. A trailer reaction to the new Godzilla. Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song at the ceremony honoring Macaulay Culkin and star of Hollywood. Are they together, Brenda Song? Where has she been? She hasn't done a whole lot. I think they started a family or something, didn't they? Exclusive clip for Poor Things next week is Poor Things, guys. I'm going to be watching that. Of course, that goes up against Wonka, right? Taylor Swift and Blake Lively at the premiere of Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. Wow. Yeah, they are friends, aren't they? Get your hand off her leg there. uh, wow, that's saucy, isn't it? They're friends because she's with Ryan Reynolds and they were working with Sean Levy, who's doing Deadpool 3 right now. And Taylor's friends with Sean Levy. Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Okay, I'll give that one the old heart. That's a good picture, right? Beyonce's a little bit taller than Tay Tay, huh? Or maybe it's the shoes. I don't know. Cillian Murphy and Margot Robbie did some actors on actors. Cool. I want to watch that one. More than 1,300 actors and artists have signed a letter condemning censorship against speaking out for the recent firing of Scream star Melissa Barrera, among them Olivia Colman. She'll have some weight, baby. It's not going to do anything though. This Spyglass Entertainment really dropped the ball on that one, and they're not gonna know how badly they screwed up firing her. New poster for Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Good, good. May December, directed by Tom Hayes, is now on Netflix. No, no, it's not. I thought it comes out next week. Nice haircut. Who is the nice haircut? Melissa Barrera? Which one are we looking for? May, December, right? It does say recently added. All right. So, yeah, so it's there. I saw May, December on Netflix today. So it is there. Um, it's like, it's under 2 hours though, right? No? Yeah, it's an hour and 50 minutes. Um, so I will watch it. I don't know if we can watch it together because of sexual graphic nudity. Yeah, so we can't watch it because of that. But I do want to watch it because of the performances I hear are good, and the guy who plays in it has been getting a lot of accolades in the early awards season. Natalie Portman, I think, is going to knock it out of the park. So I'll try to take it in this weekend, and I'll try to put up some kind of a formal review for it. Before on Monday, we'll do a formal review for it. I'll take it in over the weekend. It's just one of those ones because of all that graphic nudity, guys. I don't think we can watch it together. I can't risk it. But I do like Julianne Moore. New trailer for Furiosa. Yeah, we know about that. Harris Dickinson, Jeremy Allen White, and Zac Efron for the Iron Claw. That comes out soon too, right? I do want to see Iron Claw. Carey Mulligan, Maestro. I want to see that one as well. Uh, Renaissance debuts with 5.1 million in Thursday night previews, heading towards a 15 to 18 million dollar opening weekend. Maybe it won't be number one, guys. I thought it would be around 30 million. That's not a big. No, that's going to be more than. I think it's over or under the $18 million for Beyonce this weekend. I think it's going to be more. The first look at House of the Dragon Season 2 will be released tomorrow. Oh, well, pay attention for that trailer reaction, guys. You know, we watched all of the first season of House of the Dragon right here on this channel. We'll be doing that. Maybe that's why they released those character posters today, right? Kiwi Kwan. Margot Robbie in New York. It's just so breathtaking. Emma Stone's doing SNL this weekend. Beyonce after party. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I got to roll. Hit that thumbs up button. Can you do a watch along for the Ted movie with Mark Wahlberg and Ted 2? I don't know. Is that on Netflix? It's kind of crass, isn't it? Oh, it is on Netflix. Maybe. We'll see. All right, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Go see Godzilla or Beyonce. Let me know which one you think is better, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. See you next time.